got to keep it under 2 hours. All right. Well, this is time for Store Brand TMZ. Mia, take us away.
Justin Bieber!
All right. This week in Store Brand TMZ, we've got Taylor Swift is suing Kanye West. If you followed this lawsuit, or threatening to sue Kanye West, go ahead and pull the tweets up down there. We've got them. If you want to pull up Kanye's tweets. We don't have a Neve quote today. This is Kanye's tweet. He said, I'll show you an example of racism. Justin Bieber and Harry Styles fucked Taylor Swift from both sides and didn't call me. Oh, I forgot I can't hold water on everything. This tweet is 1000% true. Then he proceeds to tweet, I know Taylor, like how the fuck he know that? I'm mad I haven't fucked Taylor Swift, ... yet. So she's suing him, or threatening to sue him for defamation of character.
Justin Bieber and who else?
Who's the other guy?
Harry Styles.
I don't know who that is.
From One Direction.
I don't know, but whatever.
They dated.
Justin Bieber and Harry Styles?
No, Taylor Swift and Harry Styles.
Oh, okay. So do you believe Kanye? Do you think that Justin and Harry took turns on Taylor like a doorknob?
Well, he didn't say
1,000%.
So they you know,
Both ends.
both ends.
And they didn't even call Kanye. The audacity. The audacity to not even call. I mean, because that's what I would do in a situation like that. Gonna hit up Kanye.
I don't know what to say about that, dude. I'm speechless.
So obviously this is bullshit what he's saying. Do you think he's actually crazy, or is this an act?
I think he just does it to stay in the news.
That's what I think. He's got new music coming out. Whenever he goes on these meltdowns, there's always music coming out.
Always like, oh, Kanye's in the news. He said something. He said he swallowed the moon whole.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he also has an album dropping next week. It's like, okay. Well, there you go.
Well, and then his new album or his new music is literally just Jew bashing. That's all it is.
You gotta be kidding.
That's all. It's just like it's not even there's no subliminal messaging. It's just like I've heard like 2 or 3 songs from it. It's just Jew bashing. Yeah. Let me see if I can find the lyrics. We can't play it because it's a copyright thing. But let me see if I can find the lyrics to it real quick. It's called like World War III.
Oh my goodness.
Says let's see. Are you ready to die? I said, are you ready to die? They're telling me I'm a bully. I'm anti-Semitic fully. They're acting like I'm Hitler. But how am I acting like Hitler when I am a fucking nigga? They telling me, get off of Twitter. I voted for Trump, not Biden. Yeah, I mean, it's just, these are his, because all my niggas are Nazis reading Mein Kampf 2 chapters before I go to sleep.
He's reading it like a bedtime story.
Bedtime story. I just imagine Kanye in his little matching pajama suit,
With
just
the
with
a little
nightcap.
Yeah.
He's got Mein Kampf pulled open, just a little bookmark in it.
Yeah, he just puts it down, cuts his lamp off, and just goes to sleep. They missed the old Kanye. They got the new Kanye.
Well, you saw his
God.
T-shirt that he was selling, right? From his Super Bowl ad?
No.
He had a Super Bowl ad. It was a QR code popped up. And you pull your phone out to go to the website. And it takes you to the website. And it's just a T-shirt with a swastika on it. That's all he was selling. It was just a swastika. There was nothing to it. Do you think he actually believes this stuff?
I mean, he seems to be going pretty hard on it.
That's my thing. This is a weird hill to die on for a bit.
It is.
For attention.
It is.
There's other things you can say and do. This, like, you're taking the most. I feel like anyone who has dug their heels into the dirt on something this crazy has to believe it.
To an extent, like, here's my thing. Like, yeah, honestly, it seems so extreme. Like, it would have to be for publicity only.
Yeah.
Then it's such a weird thing to do that with.
Yeah.
And he's going so hard into it.
He's so into it.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's Kim Kardashian, dude. Maybe.
Well, they're broken up.
But yeah, maybe she made him go crazy.
Well, we know what those women do to men. You don't talk about a warpath. Those women, oh my God, all of them just ruin men.
No, Scott Disick is still pretty great.
Scott Disick, they broke that guy's brain.
Bruce Jenner. Look at him.
I know, they turned him into a chick.
Flat out female.
They turned one into a Nazi. They turned another into a chick. They almost killed Lamar Odom with a crack overdose.
Ray J's like, man, dog, I dodged a bullet. Well, I think it's so hilarious. Is Ray J literally made that film.
I know, and he's the one that got off spot-free by comparison.
By comparison, and he's not even famous
I
anymore.
know. That might be the blessing for Ray J, is that it hasn't followed him. Who are the Kardashians' exes? Who are we missing? You know more
Reggie
about
Bush.
them.
Yeah,
Reggie Bush
that
got
was
away, too.
Kim's other ex, Chris Humphries.
Yeah.
Chris Humphries, I mean,
They made him look like a demon. He was just some guy. He fell in love with Kim, and she left him.
he made a mistake. Yeah, they made him sound terrible, like he was some monster. He was just a mid-basketball player. Reggie Bush was always decent, though.
Reggie Bush was. I talked to him once. Worked for ESPN, actually. He's
Oh,
a
did
pretty
you?
Cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him like, did you really slay that Kardashian puss though?
What did he say?
I didn't ask him.
Oh, I didn't. Appropriate question to ask me. You're working for
Broke me in
ESPN.
half,
That's
like he did Kim.
that's true. Allegedly. Next
He
up.
said that he would pick her up and fuck her. He'd hold her up in the air.
He told you that?
No, she said that on one of her shows.
Why would she admit to that? Why do people how trashy are you? Is anything private?
Dude, they're Armenians. They're what is that? Super East European, super West Asian.
Armenians are trashy. They're like hated over in the Bay Area. They talk about the Armenians like the Chinese talk about the North Korean refugees. Like it's like just dirt. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of football, Nico Iamaleava is his name. He's a quarterback for Tennessee. Nico Iamaleava recently entered the transfer portal. Now, Nico was making $2.5 million a year at Tennessee. A lot of people thought, you might be a little overpaid. Your season wasn't that great. You were a highly touted recruit. You signed this contract at Tennessee for $2.5 million a year. Maybe you should stay there. But Nico's...
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I haven't followed sports that hardcore in many years.
Yeah.
So college players are legit getting paid by the school now?
Not by the school, by the boosters.
Okay.
Yeah, so they come up with the schools are supposedly not involved, but whoever's got boosters with the deepest pockets can just buy players, basically.
Okay.
So this guy making $2.5 million a year, decent season last year, not a great one. Dad says we can get you more. Mind you, he's like 19, making $2.5 million a year, not even in the NFL. So he enters the transfer portal, and as it turns out, the rest of college football did not agree with Nico's father. They said, we'll do 1 million. When you want to talk 1 million, we'll talk 1 million. So they go, hold on. I think we might have made a mistake. Let's go back to Tennessee. And Tennessee goes, oh no, you voided your contract and you didn't put up a $2.5 million season last year. We'll see you. Good luck out in the transfer portal. And so this guy's dad just cost him $1.5 million at least. At least 1.5 million a year.
Don't worry, we'll get it back. We'll get it back.
Yeah, this is the LeVar Ball effect. Do you remember LeVar Ball?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. LeVar Ball. Yeah,
it's the LeVar Ball effect. Every sports dad is just on steroids now, thinking they want to like hijack their kids' careers like that. And it's when does it ever work? Even LeVar Ball. I mean, did LeVar Ball really help his sons? Did he? I mean, I feel like there's teams that wouldn't touch his sons because of that circus. Yeah. And then
we'll sign you, but you can't have your dad come over here.
Yeah, your dad can't come, and we're a package deal. Like, okay, see ya. You're good, but you're not that good. You're not worth the media circus.
Yeah.
Don't care. So it's the LeVar Ball effect, and you're seeing this. LeVar Ball lost a foot. Had to get a foot amputated recently.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah. I don't know if it's diabetes or what, but yeah, he's like walking around in like in a wheelchair now.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
Mouth insert foot. People can't say that anymore. I got his foot in his mouth. He used to put his foot in his mouth all the time.
Put his foot in his mouth. Like when he said he could beat Jordan one-on-one in his prime. He would need help. That's what he said. That's all right. We got this next one up here. This is an interesting encounter at a Home Depot. Some say this guy left a voicemail in real life. You will crawl out of your skin watching this, Mia. Go ahead and check this out.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said that you look absolutely fabulous.
Thank
You're
you.
both
Thanks.
wonderful. I just want to come over and say hey, let you know that you are both muy hermosa. Gorgioso.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
grandissimo even. But I don't want anything from you. I'm not going to ask you for your phone numbers. I'm not going to ask you for your online screen names. Nothing. I'm going to walk away and leave you alone. You'll never see me ever again.
What's up with the Justin Bieber shirt?
You don't even have to respond. This is where I leave. You'll never see me again. Goodbye.
Oh, wait, that was actually, I like you.
Hey.
Sir, I'm sorry. Could we actually give you our phone number?
Absolutely not.
So is that a sketch or is that real?
That seems like a sketch.
I thought it was real until the end.
Yeah, the ending seemed like it was fake.
The end. What do you think, Mia? Real or
Absolutely
fake?
not.
He looks like Adam Devine.
He does look like Adam Devine. I like the Justin Bieber blonde T-shirt. Do you think it was real?
The thing?
Yeah.
No.
You think it was a sketch?
Because
See,
when they say, no, I liked it. Let's go. Hey, we want to give you our number.
that wouldn't happen. No.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And
No.
That came off super creepy.
No, they would never have approached him. No.
Yeah.
I could have seen that being real until the end.
Yeah.
Because there are some weirdos out there. There's some freaks that would do some
Had
shit
the
like
ending
that.
not happened, I'm like, oh, that guy's super weird. Like,
Yeah.
It was like, but no,
Yeah,
they staged it.
that's
I'm
staged.
smarter than that.
That's right. We are smarter than the average bear.
Muy
here at Dead
Hermosa
Space.
or whatever.
Muy Hermosa.
Muy Faco.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Bullshit. Okay. Speaking of, so, dude, I should have pull this video up. So the Ohio State football team, the champions, I should have segued into this. They visited the White House,
yeah.
and JD Vance had a chance to hold the trophy, and this is how it went.
Held it with care, too. Why is that so funny? I do not get why that cracks me up. I watched that like 5 different times in a row, dude.
Can you play it one more time? I want to see it one more time. It was the funniest.
That's worth a second one, dude. That is. Now look, I'm gonna keep it real. Okay, first, it isn't like it's all the way his fault.
No, the trophy's got 2 parts, and they didn't tell him.
You didn't tell him.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that.
So it is like no one told us. So he just, of course, he dropped. He thinking it'll support its own weight.
Yeah.
Which I would have thought I would have dropped it too, knowing that. But it's still hilarious.
So funny to watch him like fumble it. But you know he's embarrassed as hell, right? Like JD's like the closest thing to a normal dude that you're gonna get in politics.
He's a young
And-
guy. He's only 39.
Yeah,
For
and
the
like
vice president.
comes from real humble beginnings and stuff. So like it's like we've all been there, making an ass out of ourselves in public like that. What were you gonna say, Mia? I saw you grab the microphone.
Oh, it wasn't even him that like broke it apart. It was the guy that was grabbing it.
I think that guy was trying to support it.
Yeah.
Because the guy knew that it was the way he was picking it up, it was going to come off. Well, speaking of championship athlete pedigree, Donald Trump got his doctor's report in, his annual checkup, and they said that he is 6'3", 224 pounds with 4.5% body fat. So,
That's got to be a lie.
do we believe? I mean, the White House doctors also said for 4 years that Joe Biden was of sound mental state. So I think
Same doctor.
wrong. I think it's I think the doctors just hand them the form and say type what you need to.
That doc would literally say, I checked JFK. Pulse is fine.
Yeah, head looks great. No head trauma, nothing like that. I love how like Biden, like of course it was absurd that Biden was mentally sound, right? But I love how Trump, he can't just be like, hey, just write up that I'm healthy. No, he's got to make himself sound like he's a professional athlete here. I'm 6'3", 224 with 4% body fat. Like, make it sound like an NFL combine profile. He's got to go, like, how far can I take this
I'm
thing?
a specimen.
I believe that he's 224 because he has lost weight, but I don't believe that he's 4% body fat. Maybe move the decimal to the right there to 45% body fat. You might be a little bit closer there. I don't know.
That is hilarious, dude. That is hilarious at 4.5.
4.5%.
Maybe just in his gut. Like
One thigh.
Yeah, one thigh's got a 4.5%.
Yeah, that's so speaking of politicians and their physical fitness, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, issued an interesting challenge to the, we'd call him slightly obese governor of West Virginia, who is yet to chime in on the Appalachian Ghost Hunter shootout, by the way. But here's what he had to say to him.
I forgot about that.
I got to know, I said to Dr. Morris, or Governor Morrissey, the first time I saw him, I said, you look like you ate Governor Morrissey. and there was a lot of talk about getting healthy again, and I'm very happy that he's invited me to be his personal trainer. And I am going to put him... I'm going to put him on a really rigorous regimen. And we're going to put him on a carnivore diet. We're going to make him do... Raise your hand if you want Governor Morrissey to do a public weigh-in once a month.
Oh, my gosh.
And then when he's lost 30 pounds, I'm going to come back to the state and do a celebration and a public weigh-in with him.
This guy's in the audience as he's saying this, too.
Oh.
Just publicly roasting him.
Like you ate Governor Morris.
You ate him. You know what, though? What have I been saying, Mia? What do I...
It's a public roasting. And with a voice like that.
I know.
You don't care.
Mia, what have I been saying on this show about the obesity crisis in this country that we absolutely need to bring back? What do I always say we need to start doing again?
Bring back bullying.
Fat shaming,
Oh,
specifically. Yes, it's the only way to save the country is if we bring back fat shaming. And you know what?
Fat piece of shit.
If RFK can mandate fat shaming in every school in America, like imagine you go to like the gym class, you go to gym class, you do the presidential fitness test, you don't pass. It's not like, oh, go over and walk around the gym until we're done. No, we're going to fucking bully you. We're going to torment you, you fat pig. And we're just going to, it's just torture. I think that's the way we fix the obesity crisis in this country. And it might fix some of the mental health crisis as well. It could. I have an orthodox.
Shootings might go up.
The school shootings might go up for
But you
a
have
bit.
to make the trigger holes smaller so their chubby fingers.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The fat kids won't be able to fit their hand. They're also, I mean, let's be real, man. School shooting takes a lot of stamina to pull it off. You're going to do it right. The fat kid, he's going to get 2-3 rounds because you always see these fat guys that think they're going to do good in a shootout. Fat kid's going to get 2-3 rounds out, and then all of a sudden his breathing's fucked up. He's not going to be able to hit the targets, and it's a disaster. It's a disaster. So you can't shoot up your school if you're fat. So Mia, you tell us what happened with Katy Perry. Where did she go?
I mean, she went to space.
How far in? Why didn't we leave her there?
That's what Wendy's said, like on their official account.
Did they?
They said, "Can't we just leave her there?" Or
I don't
something
follow
like that.
Wendy's. I don't know. I couldn't.
Their official Twitter account said that?
Yeah, their official Twitter.
That is horrible. That is hilarious. Yeah. What beef does Wendy's have with Katy Perry?
Well, Wendy's didn't
though?
have any real beef. First up.
Okay, well, they didn't have any real beef, but like why? Why is Wendy's even chiming in on that?
The
like,
Wendy's-
they sell Frosties.
The Wendy's Katy Perry beef. It reminds me of like when Donald Trump had beef with Mac Miller. Was calling him an ungrateful dog and stuff like that.
Mac Miller had a song called Donald Trump.
That's why he was mad.
Ah, okay.
That's why he was mad. Yeah, he had a song called Donald Trump, and Trump tried to sue him for the money and stuff like that. He's like, if you would have called this song Bill Gates, it wouldn't have been as successful.
It probably wouldn't have.
No, probably not.
It wouldn't have.
Nobody wants creepy Bill Gates. No one wants that. But yeah, so that was, Donald Trump had beef with Mac Miller, and he was like remember when Vine was a thing?
Yeah.
He's like because Mac Miller, when the song went platinum, Mac Miller sent him a plaque, and Trump just had a Vine where he's holding the plaque, and he's like, Mac, thanks for the plaque, but I'd rather have the money than your crummy gift to me.
That's a very Donald Trump thing to say. I probably looked at the plaque a couple times. Like, I'd rather have the money than this. But
Yeah.
thanks, I guess.
Yeah, and it was dude, he had a whole, like, for weeks, he was just tweeting Little Mac Miller, Little Mac Miller, Little Mac Miller is his nickname for him. He's like, I'm going to teach you a big boy lesson about finance and lawsuits, you ungrateful dog. That was my favorite tweet.
Why would Trump have such a big
Mac Miller.
Sometimes like some like animosity, they're just so like
Just scoot in a little bit. Sorry.
so wild like that. Like the Wendy's and Katy Perry thing.
Yeah.
I want to know where this began. Like, did Katy Perry make a slight about Dave Thomas, one of her songs?
Is Dave Thomas the owner?
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know that.
He died.
Oh.
He's the founder of Wendy's. A guy named Dave Thomas.
I didn't know that. I actually like Wendy's. I don't mind
me
Wendy's.
too.
It's better than the others.
And
It's better than
He
McDonald's.
used to be in all their commercials and stuff, Dave Thomas.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, old white guy.
So, do you think, like, with all of Trump's enemies, do you think he has, like, a bottle of champagne with each of their names on it? And when he finally when Biden got pushed out of, running again, he pops the Biden champagne.
Yeah.
When Mac Miller killed himself, he pops the Mac Miller
A
champagne.
victory toast. Other one bites the dust.
Rosie moved to Scotland or to Ireland, he pops the Rosie champagne.
Dude, I am not mad she left. I don't even care she left.
Bye-bye, Rosie. Yeah. No, good riddance. I didn't even know she left until she came on claiming the election was rigged because it was the first time a president had ever won all the swing states. Some stupid shit like that. Woman's out of her mind. Out of her mind. And our trending this week segment is going to be out of your mind. It's coming up right after this. Stay tuned.
And I'm going to say this another thing back to the whole racism thing.
Did you already hit stop? Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, just like Rosie O'Donnell, she will claim to be a non-racist. Like, I accept all people. But the one country you pick is one of the whitest countries.
The whitest. Well, for now, all the Muslims over there.
Yeah, they don't know about Ireland yet, probably.
No, Ireland's got big problems.
Oh, really?
There's a huge anti-immigration sentiment in Ireland right now. With migrants. Oh yeah, Conor McGregor might end up being fucking president over it. It's that bad over there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Conor McGregor's running for president of Ireland. Yeah. All right, that's been Stormbrand TMZ. Stay tuned. All right, and before we get into trending this week, I want to give a shout out to our other sponsors who have not dropped us over at Tactilian, TACTILIAN.com with the promo code BASED. Like the title of the show, BASED, will save you 15% off your order at the checkout on gifts for the Patriot in your life, attire for you, decor for your home and office, even something for Rover. That's right, they sell stuff for your dog or your vehicle. You can slap an American flag on your car, and a portion of the proceeds are going to go to help build homes for wounded vets. You go to tactilian.com, TACTILIAN.com. Crack in that promo code BASED, BASED, like the title of the show. You'll save 15% off your order at the checkout. All right, well, let's talk all of the controversy going on in the world right now. We got all kinds of fun stuff. Have you been following, not the basketball player, but this Karmelo Anthony kid, this stabbing down in Texas? Have you been following this at all?
I heard a little bit about that.
What do you think about? What do you know?
I don't know a lot about it. From my understanding, it seems like, well, from his point of view, it was self-defense.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what he says. But how do you do self-defense when you stab and they're not, bringing a knife? But then he was like outnumbered. I can see it being self-defense because he was like, 17 years old?
17.
So he's not really thinking all the way. He's just thinking, well, I am defending myself. But
yeah,
I don't know the whole story. I mean, I don't.
There's video. There's got to be video of it, right? It's at a track meet. I've tried to leave this one alone because this is getting turned into like a huge racial thing, and I don't think it's a racial thing. I think it's 17-year-old kids being idiots.
Yeah, the media does that when it's a black and a white person.
Absolutely.
Don't do that, period. They can't. They're salivating.
They did it with the Daniel Penny thing in New York, where you had a homeless guy running around screaming, "I'm going to murder you," and he puts him in a chokehold, and the guy dies. It wasn't They made it sound like it was a lynch mob, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. We'll see.
These are the same people that misgendered that poor trans woman.
Oh, that's true.
With Anderson Cooper.
Non-binary woman.
Yeah, that non-binary. Anderson Cooper is such a weasel. Just so you people know, he's misgendered. He ruined that woman, that girl.
Yeah,
ruined her day.
Do you know that's literally violence? It's literally violence. So my whole thing here is I keep hearing that there's video of this. There's video footage of this. There's video footage of this incident from CCTV. So if that's the case, I think they should just release it because that would probably shut everybody up really quick. At least ideally it would. I don't know if it would. That's the question. Is because I feel like no matter what, I mean, you could have the most clear-cut murder or the most clear-cut case of self-defense known to man, and there's still somebody out there who will find a way to put a spin on it and make it.
They're gonna go into watching the video with their mind
Yep.
already made.
Yep.
Whatever they see, they're gonna twist and construe to fit their.
How do I justify this? And it really has. And like I'm unapologetically on the right. I've never hidden that, but I have seen some really disturbing rhetoric from some folks on my side, and it's. I mean, some of you guys, I gotta say this. Now, I don't know. I don't know why this kid had a knife at a track meet. That's pretty sketchy to me. To me, and I wasn't there. I don't have footage of it, so I can only speculate off what I know. From what I've heard, it sounds like it's probably at least negligent homicide. I don't know. But some of you guys are out there talking like fucking Klansmen, and you need to chill the hell out, because this is the shit the establishment wants. I mean, they want us fighting about this and not talking about all the money that's getting laundered through Ukraine and all of this other shithole stuff they're doing over there. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I do know that the family got like $400,000 in donations and then moved to an $800,000 house and bought an Escalade a couple days later. That might be a little sus.
Yeah, that's a little wild. When it's going to need to go to lawyer fees, low key.
Oh yeah, his bail was 250. Well, it was $1 million, and it got decreased to 250 grand by a judge who's evidently like a BLM tied activist or something like that. So we'll see where it goes, man. We'll see where it goes. I'm not gonna. I don't really play the racial politics thing in the show. I never have, because I think it's a waste of time, and it brings out ugly sides of people. And the problem is when I get into a story, I will read both sides of it, and I'll read up on it, and I'll obsess over it. And the problem is I see too many ugly people on both sides of this. I see black people that are celebrating that this white kid got stabbed, and I see white people just full on using like ethnic slurs. And I don't think either of those are right. I think regardless of what happened, it's a tragedy that is 17.
Becoming like a racial trophy thing.
Yeah, it's tribalism.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tribalism.
Some black people just like, oh, another racist white kid's killed.
Yeah,
and the white people on their side are just going like,
well,
look, we told you that they're monkeys.
The narratives that I've seen seriously, the narratives I've seen. I mean, it's that this kid and his twin brother, the kid that got stabbed and his twin brother, they were known white supremacists, and I'm seeing people take Reddit pictures from 15 years ago that had nothing to do with this kid and Photoshop it into his Instagram with like racial slurs on, like pictures of guns, like gonna go shoot a baboon or something like that. And I'm like, okay, why are you doing this? Why are you slandering a dead 17-year-old? Like, what good does that do? How does that help anyone? Regardless, I think it's a tragedy that a 17-year-old kid is dead, and I think it's a tragedy that another 17-year-old kid probably just ruined his fucking life by stabbing it. Because I mean, even if you kill someone at 17, you don't really come back from that. Mentally, you never come back from that mentally.
It's kind of already stained on you for the entire life. It's kind of sad. It's a sad situation all around, and no one's looking at it that way.
Yeah.
And
so how do we score points?
People are trying to rack up points, and people are mad about. Again, people really are mad about Trump.
That's what it comes down to, is Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like funny. Like, people are mad because the people that are like are saying that the white kids are white supremacists do not like him.
And there's no proof these kids were white supremacists. I want to make that clear.
Like a culture war type.
It is.
And this is part of it. And it's very sad that people cannot see this.
Yeah.
And they just so willingly lend themselves to it.
Mm-hmm.
One situation, look, I'll be 100% honest with you. Is it sad? Definitely. But this is actually a lot more common than people think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this situation has like grabbed the news media so hard.
Yeah.
But teenagers fighting.
Yeah. And somebody getting killed.
Yeah. Or somebody like using a deadly weapon in a fight with teenage boys. That happens all the time. When I was in high school, some kids got into a fight right outside of school, and there were no weapons involved. But one kid punched another kid. This kid fell down, hit the back of his head on the ground. Yeah. Had a seizure. I don't know what happened. He was a senior high school. I don't know what happened to him. I was a freshman.
Oh.
But he was in the hospital. Never saw him again.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, kids are idiots.
Kids are idiots. And yeah, I mean, should he have brought a knife? No. A lot of teenagers carry knives, though.
Mm-hmm.
Especially type of neighborhood culture thing, like to carry knives. They can do it just to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so again, I think a lot of these things are being taken out of context. People try to look at these things from the eye of an adult. Why would an adult do these things? But they're not adults. They're still kids.
They're all kids.
Boys.
They do stupid shit.
They do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll drink vodka in the bathroom at school, then go to classic, and no one's gonna notice.
Is that stupid?
I mean, it's from an adult perspective. I've done it. You know what I mean? When I was 17, I was drinking vodka in the bathroom and then going to class and was fine. You know what I mean? But I actually got super drunk and had them call my mom, and I told her I was sick, and then I walked home. Because I was wasted off my rocker.
Stumbled home.
That was 2001, though.
When I was in high school, people were so what happened was we had a school shooting when I was a freshman, and football game, kid shows up to the game drunk, tells the principal who got shot and lived that it should have been you that died and Miss Casper should have lived. That was the principal that died, and full on like fascist state. It becomes about and probably with good reason with booze on school grounds. So we had to get breathalyzed to go into football games. Yeah. You had to walk around with see-through water bottles. So people just started, because people would bring booze in their water bottles. Like UV blue was the thing in high school, right? So people just started bringing clear.
That's a big high school teenager drink for some reason.
UV blue.
I have no idea why.
I think if an adult buys UV blue, they should immediately just cuff them right there.
Yeah,
you're buying for kids. It's not for you.
Yeah,
you're not buying UV blue. It's not. Same with peppermint schnapps. It's not for you, bro.
Yeah, there's some 17-year-old girl you're trying to get pregnant.
What's the new one now? I see it. Starts with an H. It's like light sky blue. Hypnotic.
Oh. That's old.
Hypnotic's old. Yeah, but that's what it's on TikTok. The kids are into that now.
Again, it's like again.
All the kids I buy for are drinking Hypnotic. I'm kidding.
Kids were into Hypnotic when I was a teenager. Hypnotic, because Tupac made it popular.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, we we couldn't afford Hypnotic, so we got what we got. It was UV Blue was the big one. But everyone's parents had a bottle of UV Blue to just steal, and that was everybody's first drink. Do you ever drink UV Blue, Mia? You weren't a UV Blue. What was your underage drinking or underage drink of choice? You're not going to get arrested. The statute of limitations is up.
Didn't really have one, so.
Coward.
So I think
she didn't drink underage.
Was so popular because with teenagers, because they were just starting drinking.
Yeah.
So alcohol still stung a lot.
Yeah.
And UV vodka is actually 35%.
Yeah.
Not 40 or 50.
Yeah.
Most vodka.
So you could still get drunk, but it didn't taste as bad.
It didn't taste as bad, and it was so heavily flavored.
Yeah.
That you can mix it with some juice, soda, whatever.
Yeah.
And like you're 17, you're wasted. You know what I mean? But it's not like it doesn't have the burn.
Yeah.
Of a more mature.
Yeah. I remember I got it one time when I was like 21 years old, and I was like, and I hadn't had it in like 5-6 years, right? So I drink it and I'm like, this tastes like a very specific time of my life, and I don't like it. This is like, it's like there's some like smells and sounds, like smells, songs, and tastes will take you back to specific points of your life. UV Blue is one of them for everybody that's under the age of 40. You know, and it's seriously, it's UV Blue is that's one of those tastes.
Before you continue, I want to say this real fast. I take that back. Tupac didn't make Hypnotic popular. But some rappers in the late 90s, early 2000s did, but Tupac made Alizé popular, which Alizé is a slept-on drink. It actually is pretty good.
What's the thing with it? Incredible Hulk?
Yeah,
Hypnotic
Alizé and Hypnotic mixed together. Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
It's like 2003, 2004. Man.
Yeah. I've had Incredible Hulk before. It's fun times. Fun, not so fun the next day, but fun times nonetheless.
Not the next day,
but that's another thing you learn. You don't mix booze. You learn that when you get older. It's like, tonight's gonna be a beer night, you know. Tonight's a beer night. And that was the other thing, dude. I remember I was 19 years old. I was this girl I worked with was like 21, 22. I was like, I fucking hate beer. And she goes, oh, you'll learn to like it. I go, no, I won't. She goes, yes, you will. You want to know why? I'm like, why? She goes, because when you're 21, you're not always going to be able to afford to get liquor. Like when you're paying your own bills and you can't afford a $7 glass of Captain and Coke every time you go to the bar, you will learn to like beer. And oh my God, she was right.
Yeah.
It was crazy how right she was.
Smash a bunch of beers, dude.
And it's like now, I just like be out grilling, 75 degrees outside, just crack a beer. The smell of propane and the taste of a Coors Light go great together. Do I sound like Hank Hill yet? Am I? I was actually found myself like obsessing.
Loser! You're a loser!
I found myself obsessing over my lawn today, and I was like, "Oh my God, I am Hank." I was,
Dude,
like
what would
comparing it
Hank
to the
Hill-
neighbors.
What would Hank Hill think of a pellet grill? Because it's not charcoal; it's electricity and real wood.
It's not propane.
But it's not propane. They're redoing King of the Hill, right?
That's what they say. I keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
He tells me all the time.
Bobby's gonna be a chef.
But I heard it's going to be on Disney Plus, which means that like Dale is going to be non-binary.
Oh my God.
Luann's going to be a
wouldn't
obese black woman.
Low key. Well, I don't know how they're
Luann
gonna
can't
do
be in
Luann because the girl that
Same as Dale. Dale's dead. Lucky's dead. Luann's dead. Yeah.
Did Dale's voice die?
Dale died last year. Yep.
Oh,
So it's Disney Plus. So what? So you'll get Peggy will be a 300-pound black woman. Bill will be non-binary. Khan won't be in the show because he's a racist stereotype. Lady Bird will be a Chihuahua now. So it's gonna go full on woke. They've replaced everything.
Lady Bird will be a cat.
Lady Bird's like,
keep calling me Bill?
yeah, they'll have trans Bill back from when he was, I'm Lenore. Oh
An
my.
episode where Hank legit encountered a homosexual man. If you remember that, when Bill Dauterive,
Was it when he was lying about being gay for the barbershop?
no. When Hank won, it was Luann that won the trip to the Super Bowl to throw a football through a giant Alamo beer.
Oh, yeah. It was Bill's cousin.
It was Bill's cousin.
Yeah.
And he banged two of his cousins, but they were only cousin by marriage.
Yeah.
But his actual blood
Gilbert. Yeah.
was a gay man
Yeah.
who started turning Bobby into a gay man.
Yeah, he was like turning Bobby into like a dandy or
Into
something
a
like that.
dandy, yeah, a soft Southern man. You know what I mean?
That's my purse. I don't know you.
We have so many King of the Hill sound effects.
Bobby said, "Wow."
That's the next sound effect we need.
And the guy tried hitting on Hank.
Yeah.
Hank was bent over trying to do something with his car, and like his booty was all
Yeah.
there. And this guy was just checking Hank out, and Hank was like,
Okay, let's go to the next one here. We've got this is Taylor Lorenz. She is a former reporter. When she was asked about the Luigi Mangione United Healthcare shooting, this is what she had to say.
"Oh my gosh!"
So you're going to see women, especially, that feel like, oh my God, right? Like, here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems like this morally good man, which is hard to find.
So she just said how courageous, so going on about how handsome he is and courageous and brave and moral. This man murdered a husband and a father. This man was a father. This guy,
right,
Luigi
that's
Mangione, executed him in cold blood on the
I
streets of
didn't
New York
need
City.
the hot take from it. Well, he just kind of did my job for me. Great. But we already knew that. We already there's some weird hero worship of this guy going around, and he's right. You guys, like, these are the same people that were just idolizing. Remember Gypsy Rose Blanchard, that girl that
Don't even get me started on that crap.
idiots.
But the guy that actually did the murder is still in jail.
Yeah,
But Gypsy's stupid behind gets to walk around with her wig.
yeah. When
Her ugly husband?
when she walked him, when she convinced him to do all of it, that's when everyone's like, "Oh, it was self-defense." It is not self-defense to find a guy who's mentally ill on the internet, buy the weapons for him, facilitate, conspire, and put the murder together, and tell him to do it, and have him kill her in her sleep. Yeah,
Get out of jail, dude.
she could have left. She had the Look, she obviously had the means to find somebody that was outside that was sympathetic to her situation. She could have said, "Hey, my mom goes to work at this time. Come pick me up. We'll leave." Nobody had to kill her. Gypsy Rose Blanchard should have got the fucking electric chair. What were you going to say?
Have you seen the crime scene photos?
No, I don't. I don't like that. I don't like the gore porn stuff. No.
I did see the Jip where her mom was
The
dead.
crime scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's
crazy.
disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, someone got shot up. I've seen a bunch of. I send you clips of that, some of that stuff.
I don't watch those. I don't watch any of the death, like the car accidents, the murders, and I can't see it. I can't watch those.
I follow. There's this Facebook page.
I think there's something. It used to be like, remember when we were kids and you'd see like those faces of death, and that was like a huge deal. It was like, oh my god, I just watched someone die. It is way too accessible nowadays.
It is. The internet is
disturbing people.
When I was a kid, it was rotten.com.
Yeah.
And they had like Tupac autopsy photos and stuff. It was nuts.
Yeah. That's that's all of it was. Yeah.
It is very like it is too much because now like something happened with Gypsy Rose. People just like that poor girl.
I know.
And it's like, yeah, I do feel bad that Gypsy went through that.
Right.
That is sad. She went through that. Don't get me wrong, but to sympathize with her and not with the person that actually did the crime. I think it's okay for her to be free. But
not the guy. No, the guy just needs to sit in prison and rot. Her pawn. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was manipulated by her.
Right. Well, it's the same thing with Mangione. Are there problems with America's healthcare? Yeah, of course there are. That doesn't justify shooting someone in the back of the head. There's nothing you can say that justifies shooting someone execution style on the street. Nothing. If you genuinely think Luigi Mangione was a good guy, you're retarded. There's no other way around it.
Yeah. These are the same people that would have been okay with that were okay with Lennon hanging the kulaks.
Oh yeah, they had no problem with it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is we covered it on the show last week. There was a poll, 55% of liberals think that shooting Donald Trump would be justified. Now that extends to beyond just Donald Trump, believe me. These are the people extreme leftists have justified violence time and time again throughout history because here's what you got to realize, guys, when they say things like words are violence, this or that economic policy is violence, they're setting something up there. That's not just crazy people talking. What they're doing when they say X, Y, or Z are violence, which none of them are. So when they say like misgendering is violence against trans people, when they say that this law that got passed.
You're killing them because they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah, when they say that this law that got passed about taxes or healthcare or whatever is a form of violence because it makes life difficult for people, they're setting something up there. Because what's a reasonable response? Even the Dalai Lama agrees with me here. What's a reasonable response to someone who's acting violent against you is to act violent back to them to defend yourself. Yeah. So they're laying the foundation for them being able to justify using violence against their political opponents. All they have to do is label everything their political opponents do as violence. And it starts with the greedy cartoon character healthcare CEO, and then it ends up with the guy on Facebook who was being a dick. And we can go to that guy's house and shoot him because his words are violence. Words are violence. He misgendered somebody. And that's literally how you get death camps. That's how you get gulags.
In Seattle, when I was in Seattle, I went to that. By the way, that disgusting gum wall. I don't know how that's even a place, but whatever. But I went there and I was walking down the stairs to go there from the Pike Place Market.
Yeah,
because it's right beneath it. And on the wall, there's a bunch of billboards for like bands and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of, so Luigi and Mario, right?
Mario, yeah, Super Smash Brothers, yeah.
Right? So it was the green hat from Luigi with the L,
yeah,
right, from Luigi, but the face.
Oh, it was Mangione. Mangione.
No, was the V from Vendetta guy. Like the movie.
Which is hilarious because that's not a communist movie. That's like a libertarian thing.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and everything with the little mustache.
Yeah. Well, you had a case where a guy. And this is the problem: this is the foundation. This stuff.
They're making it for Luigi. You get it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but this is the issue: is there's a domino effect with this type of rhetoric. You had a guy walked into a Walgreens about a month ago and just shoot a pharmacist, and he did it to fight back against Big Pharma. Shot a Walgreens employee. I mean, this is the shit that happens. This is what happens when you start picking and choosing who violence is justifiable against and who it's not, is you leave gray area. Guys, unless someone is directly trying to kill you, You don't have a right to shoot him.
Low key, man, that girl that said that about Luigi,
Yeah.
the reporter, Ted Bundy would have killed her.
Oh, 100%.
Because Ted Bundy, because there are women that like Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
They're outside his jail and all that.
Yeah.
The courtroom and everything. Who's going through his trial and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have talked her into the trunk of a car, dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that's again they've been laying these foundations down for a while. So when you had everyone saying that Dave Chappelle was committing violence against trans people by making jokes on stage, what happens? A trans woman or whatever the case was runs up on stage and assaults him with a knife. Right? Yeah. Well, that person had been justified because they had it. This is someone who's already justified in their head. This is someone who's already mentally ill, has got all these pundits and talking heads yelling over and over and over again that, hey,
okay, they're the problem.
Dave Chappelle is committing an act of violence against you. And it's like, oh, well, this is self-defense to run up on stage and try to kill him.
It ups the extremism of it. So
yeah.
It makes it like what this person's doing is so extreme that...
You're the extremist if you don't try to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I said is how far do we take this? How far do we take this logic that bad business practices equals death sentence? So if a car salesman, if I feel I got ripped off at the car dealership, can I just go put a bullet in the guy's head? You know, how far are we going to take this? I think the tool at Menards is too expensive. Bye-bye, cashier. Like, how far are we going to go?
You know, what I think, I equate this to, this is my personal opinion, okay? But it's like, and I'm not trying to, I know I said this before, this is overly used, the whole Hitler Nazi analogy thing
yeah.
people use. But I think people use this analogy a lot, knowingly or unknowingly. I think a lot of times knowingly. The whole Munich thing, right? So you have Neville Chamberlain signing a deal with Hitler for basically Czechoslovakia.
Neville Chamberlain, alpha male.
Yeah.
Alpha male.
Signing a deal with Hitler to give him Czechoslovakia under the premise that he won't invade anymore.
Yeah.
Any more countries. Then obviously after that he invades Poland.
I didn't listen there, yeah.
Okay. But had they just stood up to Hitler in that day, in that moment,
yeah,
when he wasn't very strong, they could have just defeated him easily.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea is, a lot of people have, is we're never going back to that.
Sure.
So we're going to step on the ant colony before it becomes a bigger issue.
Yeah, but the ant colonies just keep getting smaller and smaller is the problem.
Yeah. Or it's not a problem at all. Like you're killing a random CEO that's a husband and saying, you know,
yeah,
he was part of the problem. He might have been a scummy person as far as like, you know, neglecting some cancer treatments like that because it costs much money. That's kind of crummy in some ways. I get that 100%. But killing him because he killed other people.
Did he kill other people though?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't
pull the trigger. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he just said we're not going to pay for it. I'm not even going to go through this analogy. He didn't actually kill anybody.
No, he didn't kill anyone. And even if he did, I hate to break it to you, if God forbid somebody killed someone in my family and I tracked him down and shot him in the back of the head on the street, I'm still going to jail.
Yeah.
Like that's how it works in this country, you know? That's how this goes.
This person's a revolutionary. Like,
yeah,
there's no political statement behind there.
We have to have law and order. We can't be the wild, wild west where every time we don't like somebody's business practices, we just go and kill them. Because I would seriously like to ask people, where does that logic stop? How far does it go? That if we don't like someone's practices, I mean, I could make the logical extension that anyone in any industry is killing somebody. The CEO of McDonald's is killing you by putting poison in your food. Better go shoot him. You know, they sell cheap food and it's poison. You better go shoot the CEO of McDonald's. How far do you guys want to take this game? You know, the manager of McDonald's, he's the one running the show. I mean, seriously, it's a very, very, I don't think the slippery slope's a fallacy because we've seen it proven time and time again. And you're going into very dangerous territory when you start deciding who violence is and isn't justified against. So, all right, let's see if we can do two more. It's going to be a tough fit here. Let's talk AOC. She's got these rallies with Bernie Sanders. You've been going on these fighting oligarchy tour. Have you heard about this?
Yeah. Have you seen the videos?
Yes, all over the country. It's so cringy. It's so cringy.
She would be the one they would pick.
She might be there.
They think she's the antidote to Donald Trump. Because, and I'm going to say this because here's why, though.
Yeah.
Here's why. I don't know what you're going to say, so forgive me.
No, you're good.
When Trump won, I remember AOC went on the internet and she asked people in her district that voted for her. She said, I noticed a lot of you voted for Trump and for me.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And she was like, why did you do that? When our policies are so, you know, 'cause she hates Trump.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So she's like, why would you vote for him and for me? Like, what do you see in
It's
us
the populism element. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they said that you both are essentially populists.
Yep.
That's what they basically said.
It's left wing and right wing, but populists. Yeah.
Populists, yeah. And they don't but here's the thing that Democrats don't get is people aren't always so polarized in politics.
Mm-hmm.
I can like people from both sides.
Sure.
Yeah, I can like AOC because I think AOC is more of a working class woman that has more in touch than most politicians. I think she is.
Sure.
I don't like her for her policies.
Sure.
But I like her more than a lot of politicians that are like.
You just like those big socialist titties, be honest.
I think I hate her grill, her teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Smile.
The horse
I cannot
mouth?
stand it.
Horse
Ugh.
face? Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to give her a sugar cube and take her on a walk. On her back and just rest my legs for a minute. You know what I mean? It's hot out here, dude. But, like, I don't like her policies. I don't. I think she's an idiot when it comes to that.
Sure.
She tried banning gas stoves. Get out of here.
Stupid. Yeah.
It was stupid. But I understand that she is a person that, at least in her mind,
Mm-hmm.
she attempts to stand up for the regular man.
Sure.
The working class man. And so does
That's
Donald
what Trump is. Yeah.
Right? And she cannot see that connection,
Yeah.
which makes her dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
Trump, I believe, can't see it.
So here's
So that's why I think she's the Democratic answer to Trump.
here's my question. If it's not her, who else in 28? Because
Newsom.
that guy's a disaster.
I think he's terrible.
Here's my thing. I think Gavin Newsom's effective 16 years ago. He's an old school politician. I don't know if the Gavin Newsom, Bill Clinton, Mitt Romney, Barack Obama model is still viable
In today's politics.
in today's politics.
I don't know if it is, but I think it would. If it's not, it would only be AOC. I think she's the only one.
Because let's think of the other names we're seeing. Because there's a couple names we've seen other than those two. We've seen Josh Shapiro, who they will not. Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania would actually be a good nominee. He's a swing state moderate who appeals to a lot of people. The base will
Is he
not.
the guy that's like kind of like
Goofy glasses. He's bald headed, like round.
yeah. Didn't he have like some mental thing or whatever?
No, it's Fetterman.
Okay.
Fetterman. Yeah, that's John Fetterman there, and she's going to hit us with the sound.
Big, stupid, ugly ogre.
There's there's Josh Shapiro. He's got two pieces of baggage. Number one is the base will never vote for him because he's Jewish. And he's not just Jewish, he's very pro-Israel, which automatically disqualifies him to 15% of their voters right away.
Yeah, but a lot of Republicans will pick him up because of that, though.
Can he make it to the primary is the question.
Yeah.
That's the question. Especially against someone like AOC, who's flat out, river to the sea. The other thing is that guy's got some shady dealings with alleged suicide where a family friend of his whose parents donated to his campaign back when he was attorney general.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's fiance committed suicide by stabbing herself in the back of the head 10 times.
Ah!
And Josh Shapiro said, yep, this looks legit, and didn't press any charges. So I think there might be some skeletons there he doesn't want him to dig into. So I think he's out. Tim Walz, get fucking real. Tim Walz is not. Coach Sandusky's going to be your fucking nominee. You might as well just
I
write
thought
it
I
off.
was the only one that saw that resemblance, dude.
The Sandusky?
Yeah.
Oh, we called him Sandusky every week on the show.
Oh my gosh!
Every week we called him Sandusky. It's not Tim Walz. It's not Tim Walz. Pete Buttigieg, the creepy gay guy.
No.
No one's gonna vote for him.
No.
I mean, then so what else? You're gonna run Kamala Harris again?
That's not gonna happen.
So I mean, then you're pulling deep into your bench after those guys. So I mean, you're looking at you've either got to get like some governor or senator that's maybe kind of popular but like a safe choice, or you're going totally like Mark Cuban or Oprah or Michelle Obama left field. So I really think right now, it's really, I think, Newsom and AOC, and everybody else is competing for third place right now. I think because it would be, see, part of me, it's
out of those two, it's going to be AOC though. She would beat Newsom.
She'll mobilize the base.
Yeah, and Newsom has too much baggage.
Yeah, with the fires and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in
and he's
politics, like it pays to go far.
Yeah.
But there is an advantage to not going far because you don't have the experience, but you don't have the failures either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, AOC's a representative. Her failures are limited. When you're a governor, when you're in an executive branch, your failures are under a microscope, especially a state like California.
Exactly.
Newsom is also a victim of the times. He's very, very Bill Clinton-esque. He reminds me a lot of Clinton he has a podcast. I will drop in and listen to his podcast. I don't agree with him, but I like to hear like what they're saying.
Marshawn Lynch on there, right?
What's that?
He's got Marshawn Lynch on
Did
there
he?
too, right?
Oh, I don't know. So the way the guy navigates is it's very Clinton-like. He's a very slick talker, and I can see why he appeals to people. The problem is, example, on the show, he says, no one in my office was ever using the word Latinx. That was forbidden because they were talking about how much the Hispanic community hates that. Fucking CNN plays a 3-minute montage of Gavin Newsom using the word Latinx. I mean, so Bill Clinton used to get away with that shit because there weren't receipts like there is now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they played tweets of him, like just everything. So Gavin Newsom can't do that. Part of me feels like AOC would get absolutely dog walked in a general election, but we got to remember this ain't 2016. This ain't 2012. This is going to be 2028. The game is completely changed. She's going to mobilize young people. She's going to have ideas that are, while I don't agree with them, they are fresh to the mainstream, which is the same thing you had with Donald Trump in 2016.
And Barack Obama, too.
Yep. In 2008 and 2016, Donald Trump and Barack Obama had ideas that were fresh to people they had never heard. They'd heard of them in fringe corners, right? But never heard of them to the degree they were hearing on the mainstream scale like that. And that's why it was so appealing. Well, this isn't working, so let's try this. She's going to have radical ideas that people have never heard before. And she's going to... One of the big things that Donald Trump did was he navigated the new media market so well. He said, hey,
AOC will be able
she's going to be able to do that. She's not going to be a Kamala Harris where they're going to try to protect her. Now, here's the other problem. AOC is still a fucking idiot. And she puts her foot in her mouth a lot, too. There's a couple of interviews with her. I can send you the links to them afterwards. But there's a couple of interviews with her where if she's in front of the camera for more than 2 minutes taking questions from somebody that's not totally friendly with her, she has the Kamala Harris problem where she doesn't necessarily ramble, but she'll say something stupid. She'll say something that contradicts something she said 30 seconds ago. So if she gets on a show like Rogan or
smooth like Newsom is.
Yeah.
Newsom can smooth all that
Newsom will be able to talk through that, and then his issues, the receipts afterwards. She would just look like an idiot. So it's kind of, what do you do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think it would be, I don't think it would be the shellacking a lot of people think it would. I think you would be very, very mistaken if you underestimate AOC as a legitimate contestant in 2028. And I say that as someone who a couple months ago said, if you want to lose 48 states, nominate AOC. I don't think that anymore. I think the way I've seen the political landscape change, I think she's the type of candidate that could make some serious noise.
I agree. She can. I think in this current political climate, she would do really well. I think she will not debate well.
Yes.
I think she's going to, especially if she's running against, kind of like how you mentioned, a governor.
Or JD Vance.
Yeah. Someone that's been doing this longer at a higher level than she has. Like, even like in the primaries, she's going to debate Newsom.
Right.
She is. He's going to clean her up.
Oh, yeah. He'll make her look stupid.
He's going to make her look dumb. He's just going to go off all these points, and she's, I think, not going to be able to keep up with it. And he's going to make her look like an amateur.
Yeah.
Is what I would do. If I was debating this, I'd make her look like an amateur. If I was a Democrat,
yeah, I'd
just make her look like she has no idea what she's talking about. She's a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, she hasn't been doing this long. Give her 20 years. She'll be a great president then.
Yeah.
But today, no.
Well, that's going to be the average primary voter's top concern with her is we don't want to get Kamala again, where we nominate someone because they check the, identity politics boxes and we get burned by it because she wasn't ready for the big stage. And if Newsom, and he will, can highlight those insecurities and make people feel like they're valid, that's going to get her in trouble. And I think the insecurities are valid, by the way. She's a representative. She has a very elementary understanding of economics. And by elementary, I mean the kid that runs for class president and promises everybody free ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's kind of her shtick there. So I hope Stephen A. Smith runs just for the debates.
That'd be amazing.
Could you imagine? Oh, that is blasphemous. I don't think he'll win, but just for the television entertainment, you could sell that debate on pay-per-view. It's Stephen A. Smith in there. But I think Stephen A. Smith might be, because I saw an SNL sketch they did, and yeah, we're going to go way over, so I'm going to have to do an extra show on Sunday. But so I saw an SNL sketch they did where they were making fun of gay people. And it was like gay people were the butt of the joke on SNL in 2025. So I think you're starting to see between that and Newsom saying, oh, we never used Latinx, and doing a total 180 on some of like the trans kids and sports stuff like that.
The culture's changing again.
But I think they're almost, and I don't think Stephen A. Smith's in on it, but I think they're kind of using him as a weapon almost. They're rebranding themselves as sane.
Who, the Democrats?
The Democrats.
Yeah.
They realized how unpopular that these policies were.
The past 8 years were horrible for them, dude. Horrible. And they got away with Biden in 2020 only because of COVID.
It's because of COVID, yeah.
Only because of COVID.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize like just how horrible they looked.
Yeah.
They looked condescending.
Yeah.
Out of touch with people and more concerned with making sure, boys can play in girls' sports than something like the economy or something like that.
They thought they could gaslight people on that. And what you're going to see is, and this is so despicable about it too, because contrary to what idiots want to say, I don't hate trans people. I really don't. I promise you I don't. I see them as victims because they're mentally ill. And you've got these politicians that used a lot of these transgender people as a vehicle because they thought it was an issue they could win on. We can paint people as bigots. This is the next car we're going to ride across the finish line. And then when it didn't work, they're going to take these people who are they suffer from suicide attempts at a much higher rate than the rest of the country. They suffer from mental illness at much higher rates than the rest of the country. They're going to leave these people in the dust. And these people that have told them they're their friends and they're there and they support them aren't going to be there for them.
Yeah.
Now that these policies aren't popular, and they're going to leave these people behind. And you think the suicide rate's high now? Just give it time, because they're going to be chopped liver, and you're going to see these Democrat politics. I mean, imagine you're someone.
They're going to shoot other people than themselves.
I know. And they're already starting to do that. They're already starting to do that. I mean, you're seeing these Democrat politicians that 6 years ago they were on TV talking about how you're valid and all that shit, and now they're like, I never said any of that they them bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Those people are crazy. Yeah,
it's Newsom with the Latinx.
They're going to do total 180. Total 180. Yeah, and they're not going to say, hey, we got this wrong. They're going to act like those people never existed. And like, I always thought they were crazy. And they're going to gaslight people with mental illness, and it's going to create a real fucking problem for that group of people. Like, you think it's bad now? Just wait. I know all the theories about how Trump, or all their Reddit conspiracy theories are about how Trump was, going to genocide trans people or whatever. No, the Democrats and them leaving you guys in the dust are what's really going to have the negative effect on you. Closing comments.
Dude, I don't have any. I mean, I think I've said them all.
He said it all.
You pretty much wrapped that up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly the rhetoric against Trump, thinking that he's going to destroy trans people, is like when Republicans thought that Obama was going to take all of their guns.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It is.
They sound the exact same.
It's fear mongering. It sells. It rallies the base. Yep, it does. That's all there is to it. Obama was actually the greatest gun salesman of all time.
Yeah.
More people panic bought all the time. It's yeah. So I mean that's pretty much all it is, man.
He killed a lot of people too.
He did kill a lot of
the drones. He actually upped the program.
Deported a lot of people, killed a lot of people. Yeah, he was if Barack Obama had an R next to his name, they would refer to him as Hitler. That's like that.
Let me ask you a quick question before we go.
Yeah.
Of the Democratic primaries today, Newsom or AOC, who do you think is winning?
Today,
Yeah.
Newsom.
Okay.
Newsom. Give it a couple years of media foundation and campaign. Today, it would be new. If it was just those two, Newsom. But what I will say is I think those two are weak and they're vulnerable. And the door is definitely open for somebody we've never heard of or not.
What happened with Barack Obama? He
Right.
came out of nowhere.
Because everyone thought it was Hillary and Edwards, right? Or Biden or
Oh,
one of
yeah,
them.
that John Edwards guy.
Yeah.
Then it came out like he had an affair on his wife when she was
Yeah.
dying of cancer.
Yeah. What a scumbag. Oh my, I didn't know that. Oh my
You didn't
God.
know
No.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Oh
She was
my
dying. He was
God.
banging some other chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. So there could be the Barack Obama effect.
My
There's
mom actually thought he was good looking.
Who?
John Edwards.
Edwards?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know him if he walked up and smacked me in the face. That's so there is a name you can keep an eye on is a governor from Maryland. His name's Wes Moore. There's your Barack Obama dark horse guy. A little free game for everybody. Go do some homework afterwards. But yeah, I think they're both weak candidates, AOC and Newsom. And if those two are your two to beat, there is room for somebody that a lot of people haven't heard of to sneak up and steal it. It won't be Kamala Harris. It won't be Tampon Tim. It won't be creepy Pete Buttigieg. It won't be any of those people. It'll be someone that most of the general public has not heard of that comes out of nowhere.
I think it has to be, though, because there can't be any. AOC and Newsom have a lot of dirt on them as far as public perception.
Oh, yeah. It'll be Stephen A. Smith. No, I'm kidding. And
I'd vote for Stephen.
I'd consider it.
President.
I'd consider it. He's more reasonable than the rest of them. It would be entertaining.
Sports metaphors when he's bombing China.
Oh, my God.
It was a touchdown.
Yeah. The quarter three. He'd do everything screaming too. Everything would be screaming. I loved when he debated LeVar Ball because LeVar said he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one, and Stephen A just goes, "Oh, would you stop it?"
He would legit ask the president of China, Xi Jinping, like, so who you got, man? You got the Celtics?
Yeah, that's how he'd break bread with him. Yeah. That's
like the Seahawks. You probably you like the Bucks, don't you?
As far as the Republicans, though, it's JD's to lose at this point. So I think
You think he's the next one to carry the torch?
No, there's no one's going to beat him unless over the next 3 years Trump totally falls apart. Yeah, no. Even if they have a moderate success or just kind of an presidency, it's his. He's handpicked. He's the successor. It's his. So
you don't think DeSantis?
No, DeSantis fucked himself. DeSantis royally fucked himself by running in 24. I think DeSantis had a lot of people pressuring him to run because they wanted to make money off the campaign. He wasn't paying for it; the donors were.
Yeah.
And I think by doing that, if he would have waited, I would have said, "Ooh, we're in for a fight." But I think DeSantis, he's great governor, but that is all he will ever be as the governor of Florida because of what he did. So by alienating a lot of the base and going on the attack against Trump the way he did, I think if he would have ran a campaign like Vivek, where he kind of just was like, "Hey, I'm waiting in the wings in case you go to jail," and kind of like didn't kiss his ass but didn't attack him, I think that might have been a different story. But the way he ran his campaign.
About Vivek.
What's that?
I forgot about Vivek.
I know.
He was a cool guy.
He was the only candidate that was worried about my car's extended warranty. I tried to go donate money to his campaign, and I had to, pay him in Target gift cards. So just like my tax bill that was overdue from 2023 that I didn't know about until today. I had to go, sorry, Mia, yeah, $2,000 in Target gift cards. That's where that money went.
I do find it very interesting. I'm not trying to take up all your time.
No, you're good.
Just like who the Democrats are going to bring. It is a kind of like how you said, it is a very wide open field.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's really anybody's game to beat.
Biden. Political comeback of the century.
You thought old Sleepy Joe was done. That's what he would do, man. He'd wink at the camera. The wrong camera.
Century. They got to conjure him up on a Ouija board. But he's coming. Comeback of the century. It's Biden. No, Biden's going to be the new pope.
But like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a lot of these other names. Just like Westmoreland from from Maryland.
Westmore.
Westmore. Maryland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a name to watch. I'm not saying anything. I don't know anything. That's a name to watch. But other than that, yeah, it's those two at the top right now with Newsom and AOC.
I think Newsom's definitely going to run, though.
Oh, yeah, he's running. He wouldn't be positioning himself to the middle like this unless he were running. Because that's his whole thing. Yeah, he's trying to mend that divide because he's had the reputation as a far-left governor for a long time. But he's, again, the guy could not have handled the fires worse.
What happened with the fires?
Just flat-out negligence. Just, I mean...
Because that was more of like a mayor of L.A. kind of deal.
Well, the mayor of L.A. was negligent. And
she was in Africa.
Yeah, she was in Africa. But there were other policies Newsom had where they, like, denied... I shouldn't say denied. They could have had about 4 times as much water as they did, but they turned it down to save some fish, and they ran it all into the ocean. They refused to do controlled burns. You know, like, because right now here in Omaha, it smells like bonfire. They refused to do that to clear out all the dead brush, so it started on fire. I mean, it was just, and, you know, there were he's on the phone, or he's standing outside. This woman goes, "Hey, my house just burnt down. You know, like, can you call the president? What's going on here?" And he goes, "I'm on the phone with the president of the United States right now." And he, like, brings his phone down. He wasn't even on the phone. He was faking it. He had it like this, and his lock screen came up. And he, like, showed her. He's like, "I've called him 3 times. I can't get service." And she's like, he showed me his phone, and he had called his wife. It wasn't the president. So, yeah, I mean, it's just optics like that, negligence during the fires. I mean, as a governor, how you handle disasters is pretty much your defining moment. Look how well DeSantis did with the hurricanes. It was over from that moment. When, as well as DeSantis did with the hurricanes, love him or hate him, Pete Ricketts, the way he handled the floods here, it's that kind of defines you when you do a good job with it. So,
think old Pistol Pete's going to run for president one day?
No, there is so much dirt on that guy. So much dirt on. I don't know what it is, but there's dirt on him. All I know is Trump said, Pete Ricketts better be careful coming against or opposing me because there's a lot of dirt on his family. And then, like, 2 weeks later, Pete Ricketts endorsed him. So
yeah.
You don't do that unless there's because if he was blowing smoke out his ass, I'd be like, all right, let's see it. What's the dirt? Fuck you. But yeah, so anyway, that's been our show. We appreciate you coming on. As always, man, we will probably see you guys tomorrow, Sunday. We're going to do a bonus show because I went way over time, as we always do when Monty's on, but we love that because it's a good old time. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse, and stay based.